Cyberpunk off, like the fact that Cyberpunk's getting any nominations, dude. To be honest, the only thing that it should be nominated for as a joke is best ongoing game, and it should lose with a caveat saying it's still not done. Awful. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm your host for today, Ethan, and as always, I am joined by my good friends Cal and Hunter. Hey guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm doing just swell. What was your Spotify top 5, Ethan?
Oh, is this how it started? I don't remember, and I don't have my phone on me, so it's a good start.
Man, fake fan.
All I know is this is the first time, and I'm gonna lower my webcam a bit because it looks like I feel like I'm looking up at you guys. And really, I should be looking below you, like that, like down on you.
Well, I'm already on the bottom.
It's true. Hello, Kyle.
Hello, Ethan.
But it was the first year where Paramore was not my number one in like 7 years, and it wasn't even in number 2 either. It was like number 4 or 5, and that's what you get, Paramore, for not releasing new music in like 5 years.
When you let your heart win.
So welcome back to the HGO podcast. Well, each and every week we occasionally talk about games. You can find us on podcast services just by searching for Hot Gamers Only, or you can go to youtube.com/Hot Gamers Only, where you can find our stupid faces each and every Monday. This week on the show, it's our predictions special for the Game Awards. So we're going to go through our award winners' predictions. Cal's got all of the categories we care about up, so we're ready to cast our vote on who we think's going to win. We also have our Game Awards event predictions, so what we think's going to happen at the event, any reveals, announcements, what's going to happen during it. How many stupid commercials will Jeff make? Let's find out. We'll talk about all of that.
Will there be a Whooper watch?
Oh, we can only dream.
I hope so.
We can only dream for a Whooper watch. And then after we've talked about that, we've got some news, because there was so much news this week. We've cut a lot of stuff out. We've had to cut stuff out. We're not going to talk about BioShock. We just don't have time. But we will talk about the new PlayStation Plus rumors that has come from Jason Schreier, so it's basically fact. And then
it would have been nice if some of this news would have broke last week.
On the really popular episode where we just chatted
The really
shit.
popular episode where we were just spitting nonsense for
almost
an hour.
100 views in a week.
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way. Now, if you guys could watch all the episodes like that and hit the subscribe button, we'd appreciate it. And we also
Jingle that bell.
Yeah, and thank you, audio
tap
listeners.
that like button.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And remember, if you dislike the video, we can't see it. Ha!
So now you have to comment.
Oh yeah. Trust me, the audience retention is already down from this intro, so it can only go up, guys. It can only go up. This is the worst part, we swear.
It always is.
But then we'll also talk about Danganronpa Decadence. I have it. There we go. It's out on Switch. I'll talk about how the collection's running and all that jazz. So yeah, we've got a lot to get through. So let's get through it. This is the second annual Game Awards predictions. I don't remember how well we did last time. I genuinely have
I
no
wasn't
clue.
here last time.
Kyle wasn't here. Between the two of us,
Don't
we
even
got
remember
everything
why.
but 3 of them right.
Oh,
And-
it was... Yeah, it was the episode where we actually wrote them all down, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that. I didn't even think about it. We'll keep a track of it. But we're going to go through all of them. We're going to start with the actual awards themselves right now. And we'll just keep an eye out on it, and we'll see how it goes. How many categories are we going to be looking at, Kyle? Because we're not doing all of them.
Really good question.
Because a lot of them are lame. We're not going to talk about our favorite content creator, because where's Scott the Was, dude? We weren't nominated. Where were we? Where was Scott the Was? You know, I feel like we're on the same echelon of content creators, so I feel like it's only valid that we're both
It's
on
only
there.
a matter of time until we have our own TV show.
Hell yeah.
And
dude.
our own Monopoly board.
Do you think... I don't think we have enough references for Monopoly board yet.
What do you mean? We could get the HGO logo.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've got to make sure every little spot is a reference that only 2 people will get.
Oh,
And I don't think we have enough of those yet, because we can't just call every single spot, I'm doing swell, I'm doing swell, I'm doing swell, I'm doing swell.
But that's our only consistent gag.
It's true. It's true. Have you counted them, Kyle? Or did I distract you?
No, you actually stalled long enough for me to count. It was
perfect.
22.
We're gonna go through 22 categories. And we'll see how we do. So where are we starting, Kyle?
We want to just go in order from what's on the website, which is starting with Game of the Year.
No, do it the opposite way around.
Save that for last.
Do it the opposite way around because
All right, then.
we got to build up the suspense. We got to build up that watch time. Make sure you watch it, guys. Watch it at 0.5 times speed. That gives us double the watch time. That's a true fact. Please don't do that, though.
All right, then. Starting us off will be Best Game Direction.
Okay.
With Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart.
Okay. Kyle, you go first. I realized I should have the list open on my screen as well. Because you just listed like 6 games. I'm just going, So yeah, what are you thinking, Kyle?
For Best Game Direction, I've awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design and direction.
Yeah.
Wow. Those are words that I just read.
Shut up. It's literally a buzzword. a buzzword.
This is just a sentence of buzzwords. Yeah.
Word salad, as they like to call it.
So as we did last time with me and Hunter, we'll do the same again, where we will say what we want to win, and then we'll say what we think will win. And you only get points for what will win. Your feelings don't matter, just like in real life. That's a t-shirt quote. That's an Instagram post right there in fancy font. I'll tell you what, I would love It Takes Two to win this.
I was thinking It Takes Two, yeah.
Because if I've heard anything from that game, it's how that game, in every single level, they do something different, where they implement a new mechanic, they implement a new way of playing, and it's just for that one level, and they perfectly nail it, and they keep it around long enough for you to go from have a curve of learning it to mastering it, and then they throw it away and they do something else. And to me, that's what screams best game direction, is if you can put all those kinds of stuff together and make it work in such a cohesive package. I think this is definitely one that could win. But I'm sitting here looking at Deathloop going, is Deathloop going to be the Red Dead Redemption 2 of winning every category this year?
Probably will be.
Probably.
You see, It Takes Two, with what you just mentioned, I'd be pleased if it won. Of the ones I've played, being Deathloop, Ratchet, and Returnal, I would like for Returnal to win, but I think Deathloop is going to win.
Ye of little faith.
Yeah.
So am I putting you down on the list, Hunter, for Deathloop winning?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle?
Honestly, yeah, put me down for Deathloop. I think It Takes Two should win, but I just get the feeling it's going to be a Deathloop award show. Since it's in like every category.
You know what? I'm gonna go with, just to spice it, I'm gonna go with It Takes Two. Because if there's one complaint I feel like even reviewers had with that game, was it held your hand too much. And that's not good game direction to me, is if the game tells you exactly where to go and do exactly that. So in my heart, I'm saying It Takes Two. And if Deathloop wins, fair enough. I'll take the L because I just want It Takes Two to win. Is that too much to ask?
Yes.
Darn. Right, anyway, next one.
Best Narrative.
Best Narrative. Ooh, okay. What are the nominations?
Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2.
Ooh, okay. So that's interesting. I don't know.
I think I would probably give it to Life is Strange.
Well,
like on the grounds of it being a visual novel.
It's not a visual novel.
Is it not?
No, because you do
call a choice-based walking simulator.
How dare
you?
Oh,
epic!
I'm not saying that disparagingly.
A visual novel
I'm just
with some
saying
walking in it.
I'm just saying most of what you do is walk around and make choices.
Yeah,
I mean that very matter-of-factly, not spitefully.
Yeah. So,
I think Life is Strange will win, and I believe that it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for this, I think we're all going in on this one. Life is Strange, I think will win this. Just because it has that name
recognition. You don't want to
recognition.
double down on It Takes Two?
No, not for narrative. I think that it wins this because Life is Strange is usually a shoo-in for this category. It's like the one category that I feel like it will win. I think it's the only award it'll get, but I hope that it gets this one. So, yeah. Life is Strange gets mine.
Why was Deathloop even nominated for narrative?
No, it's shit.
The story wasn't good.
It was so bad. Like, genuinely, it was fucking horrendous. And if you liked it, fair play to you. I too enjoy reading mountains of fucking garbage, gobbledygook text to get my story, dude.
God.
No.
Is this a PS1 game?
No, it's basically like, imagine if the Ansem reports were the entire story and there was 6 million of them. Welcome to Deathloop.
There already is.
Anyway, Kyle, I'm going to start doing some typing of some stuff, so you read and go through the next category real quick.
Okie dokie. Next up is Best Art Direction. And we got The Artful Escape, Deathloop, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet & Clank. Hunter?
Alright, for the sake of not saying Deathloop every time, I'm gonna throw in my vote is for Kena, and it's what I want to win. Even though analyzing the pattern of what usually wins this category is realistic adjacent with some fancy effects.
Yeah. And Deathloop happens to fall into that category.
Yeah.
What category is this?
Yeah.
I got distracted.
Best art direction.
Best art direction. Ooh. Yeah, I missed one. I don't want Deathloop to win this. I really fucking don't.
I don't think it should, but I've also Ghost of Tsushima won the last one, Control won before that.
It's an ugly game.
I mean, art direction was the best thing Ghost of Tsushima did.
Say what you want, Ghost of Tsushima deserves that.
It did.
It did deserve it. Even if you like, I know Hunter.
I don't remember what it was up against.
Here comes Hunter, the Hades.
Oh wait, Hades was
Hades.
Yeah. Oh boy, I love Hades.
One of the first things you said about Ghost of Tsushima is, oh man, the facial animations are not as good as The Last of Us.
That's not art direction, though.
It's part of the visuals.
No, art direction to me is the whole style of the game. To me, it's like I'm not going to base it off the motion capture. And to be fair, Hades is great, but it's also, no offense to Supergiant, it's Supergiant.
It sure is.
It was Supergiant. They didn't do anything that wasn't Supergiant. It was like, it was great, but also it looks like every other Supergiant game, which is also great. Ghost of Tsushima genuinely looked like a Japanese kind of like film, like the film like kind of look of what that era of Japan would look like in old Japanese film. That to me is what that looks like, and it looks beautiful. And it did something. It genuinely, I can say that about Ghost of Tsushima, is it genuinely to me doesn't look like any other game that I've played before. And that's good art direction to me. Whereas Hades looks like every other Supergiant game. As good as it looks like every other Supergiant game. But that's not 2021.
Unfortunately.
I don't think Deathloop wins this. I think it's either Kenna or Ratchet.
Really?
Yes.
What's your argument for Ratchet?
Again, the normie vote of people going, oh, it looks like a Pixar movie. I think it's going between the two Pixar games. I think it'll go between Kenna and Ratchet. And if I was a betting man, which I am, I actually am going to put my vote on Ratchet because not as many people have played Kenna.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thing is I'm going inside the normie vote here. We can talk about it. Arcane is Arcane, right? Like, they're going to have their fans vote for it. I don't think art direction is one where they're craving at the bit going, yes, that's the one. We love the same 5 models with the different coloured heads for some reason. Yes.
They evaporate into rainbows.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, Psychonauts also looks gorgeous as well. It's a tough category. There's some good games here, but I'm going to go with Ratchet.
Yeah, I feel like Ratchet would kind of take the edge over Psychonauts.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I still need to play Psychonauts. It's definitely a game that I will trickle back to when I have the chance, when 2022 dies down, when everything gets delayed to 2023. That's a game that I'll have my eyes on. So yeah. Anyway, Hunter, did you say what you were putting down?
My vote went with Kana.
Kana? Fair enough. Respect it. Next one, Cal.
Oh, goody, it's this category. Best music and score. The Artful Escape, Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Nier Replicant. No.
I hate it all.
No is my answer to this. Where?
Do you want to just go through it? If people didn't listen to our podcast about 2 weeks ago, why is this category such a fucking tragedy?
Why is this here? Where's Guilty Gear?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Sorry, for those of you who are not watching the video version, I am trying to type in all of the fucking categories now so I can keep track of what everyone's voting. So that's why there's weird silences. But no, looking at this, like, to me, it's just tragic, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
we've talked about it. Cyberpunk, fuck off. Like, genuinely, the fact that Cyberpunk's getting any nominations, dude. To be honest, the only thing that it should be nominated for as a joke is best ongoing game, and it should lose with a fucking caveat saying it's still not done. That's the only thing it should have fucking get a nomination for.
Honestly.
In fact, it should just get a nomination for a category just by itself called ongoing game, where it's not even best ongoing, it's just ongoing still. Awful. And the music's not particularly great. Deathloop does have a good soundtrack, I'll give it that. Guardians of the Galaxy, the original stuff that's in it is really good, but a lot of it's licensed music. Nier Replicant's a fucking remaster. So are we giving it to The Artful Escape just for the sake of it? No, because that's an indie game. That's not going to win.
I'm going to be honest. I've never even heard of The Artful Escape.
It's like the story is centered around this guy whose dream is to become like a musician. So fair enough. The music is probably really good because it's tied to what it's about.
You'd think. But hear me out. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy has Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is the one I see winning.
Same.
Nier. And normally they just go with whatever's the most expensive in this category, so...
I don't necessarily agree with that, because Nier and Automata won that one. This is always a hard category to guess, by the way, because I just also want to say that Nier Automata actually beat Persona 5 and Breath of the Wild in this category before. So I just want to say that this one is an oddball, no one knows, because, don't get me wrong, Nier Automata, a brilliant soundtrack, absolutely amazing soundtrack, but the fact that it beat not only a Zelda game, but then also Persona 5, which people still don't shut up about it. Shut the fuck up about it.
But dude, it invented jazz music.
It did invent jazz music, just like Persona 4 invented pop. You know? It's like...
Hell yeah.
It always goes and invents those new genres.
Didn't invent anything.
No.
No one heard of it.
No. Change the gameplay, then maybe people will...
And then it can invent something. Invent a good gameplay loop.
I honestly think that... I don't think Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is going to win it. I genuinely don't. If you guys want to put Guardians of the Galaxy, then you go. Fair play.
I'll put it down.
Fair play.
I don't care about this category.
I think it's between that or Nier. Like, as far as what people are going to vote for.
You see, I don't think Nier Replicant, the remaster / remake, I don't think it hit as much as Automata did.
Well, no, but like just by association, I could see it being like, oh, it's music.
Fine, if you.
But even then, I still think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to take it because I don't have faith in this category.
I'm gonna go with. I'm also gonna go with Nier. My gut's telling me Cyberpunk, but I really don't want to even give Cyberpunk the time of day. This is coming from someone. I have a copy of Cyberpunk that I bought for like £14 brand new for the day that the PS5 update comes out, so then I can play the game as it was meant to come out a year and a half later for £14. But so I intend to play it, and I was excited for it before it was a massive dumpster fire. But I just no. Next category, Cal.
Best audio design. Deathloop, Forza Horizon, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal.
Returnal's a good shout, just saying.
It
I
is.
agree. Did anyone have any special audio presentations? Because audio design is one of those things that people don't like to pay attention to unless they're told to.
Can I just say I nailed that last year? I absolutely nailed it. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing was, for those of you who weren't aware, I guessed Modern Warfare, and Hunter was like, really? And I was like, dude, listen to me. During E3, they wouldn't shut up about the fucking audio. That's the only thing they talked about that entire year was the damn audio. They didn't even talk about the game. They were just like, yo, guys, we recorded real
once you
guns.
explained that, I'm like, oh, yeah, that
I was
makes
like,
sense.
they're going to vote for it because they were just told audio. So the dumbass is not even going to think about it. This year, I don't think we did have anybody that was screaming audio at us. So I think it's a harder one. What are you thinking, Hunter?
I want to say the only one I haven't played here is Forza, and of the ones that I did play, I think Returnal's, like, just the way that everything worked together with itself was the best. But, like, I haven't heard anyone particularly talk about the audio design of any of these games, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, like, to me, there's not been a game to me this year where I've been like, oh, that's some good audio. Like, it's just been fine. Which sounds stupid, but there are some games where I'm like, yo, legit, the audio is pretty damn good here. Whereas most of these, I'm just like, I feel like it's between Returnal and Ratchet. Because then this is me going into the fucking six head gigabrain universe here of overthinking. Sony wouldn't shut up about their 3D audio during the PS5's launch.
Oh, right.
And what are two games that they have heavily advertised with the 3D audio? Ratchet and Clank and Returnal. So to me, I am gonna put Forza Horizon as well, though. Forza didn't get a nom for game
off of here.
Forza didn't get nominated for Game of the Year, and I think Forza fans are going to take that personally and literally skyrocket this thing up in every category that it was nominated for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I will leave it to you, Hunter.
I'm gonna vote for Returnal.
Returnal.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle.
Well, as somebody who's played none of these games, let's give it to Ratchet and Clank. Why not?
Fair.
I genuinely don't know anything about these.
I also think I'm going to give it to Returnal as well. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's just what I've got.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so that's that. What's up next, Kyle?
Best performance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to do this or?
Yeah, we can do performance.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Oh boy, names I get to butcher.
Oh boy.
All right. Erica Mori as Alex Chen in Life is Strange.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce this guy's name.
Giancarlo Esposito.
That one.
Esposito, yeah.
Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Jason Kelly in Deathloop. Maggie Robertson
Next.
in Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
And Ozoima Aka Juliana Blake from Deathloop.
I didn't know how to say her name the other week.
Right.
Don't worry.
You know,
apologies.
No offense to the performances here, but I think because of the year that we've had, I do think this is one of the weaker years for this category. I'm only saying that because I feel like out of all the games that got pushed into 2022, I feel like 90% of the ones that were pushed were story games. So I feel like the voice performance side of this year has been lesser compared to other years. I'd want Erica Mori to win.
Yeah.
But I think, now hear me out, I don't know why I'm giving you this before you guys have made your decisions, because it's supposed to be a bit of a contest here. I think it's between Giancarlo Esposito and Maggie Robertson. And here's the reason.
The
One, you've always got to give it to the celebrity.
Actor,
yeah, you always got to give it to the celebrity.
And then the one that was the meme.
And the meme, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. It makes sense. I understand.
Because let's rewind the clock, guys. Earlier this year, people wouldn't stop saying "Mummy, step on me," and I was so sick of it. So that's like,
God, that was this year.
Yeah, that was this year.
Cows.
The HGAs, dude. Oh, who's gonna win that game out this year award? Maybe Resident Evil will. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's between Giancarlo and Maggie Robinson. That's my personal pick. I'm going with Maggie personally. I think the meme will win. Because who's the fuck's played Far Cry 6? Who the fuck has played Far Cry 6? Nobody. Because Ubisoft's a bunch of bastards.
Fire Yves Guillemot.
Yves Guillemot. Fuck you. Treat your employees equally. It's not hard. But no, I think Maggie has a chance, to be honest. That's me, though. That's just me. What about you guys?
I'm going to vote for Erica Mori.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Kyle, what are you thinking?
As someone who has played none of these games.
Like a true Chad. Yeah.
I did not play a lot of games that came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones I did play didn't make it on here.
Yeah.
Because of course they didn't. I'll give it to Erica Mori. Why not?
Nice. I like it. Yeah, there you go. Erica Mori. Just a heads up to you guys. This is very unprofessional. I'm sorry for such an unprofessional episode. I'm going to Twitter now. I'm sending you both the Google Doc that I have made so far. I'm just sending it on Twitter because I'd send it on Discord, but that'll ruin the layout. So, because my typing is super loud and I have to keep muting my mic, and I'm like, that's really bad for a podcast host to be muting his mic all the time because I'm supposed to be carrying like the conversation through. So I'm going to send it to you both. You can do with it what you will. And yeah, let's move on to the next category. Sorry, carry on.
All right. Games for Impact. Do we want to do this? Because Beyond Life is Strange, I don't know what any of these are.
Shall we just all say that Life is Strange is probably going to win this one because it's a normie thing? I think Life is Strange. What are the other noms?
Yeah, it probably would win.
Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yeah.
Chicory, A Colorful Tale, and No Longer Home.
No,
I think it's between Chicory or Life is Strange.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Life is Strange for that one. Personally.
I feel like Life is Strange probably has the wider net, so it'll win over Chicory.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Best ongoing game?
Let's just do it. I like doing this.
Care?
Yeah, I like doing this because I like not caring, so I can just take a hard look at it and go, yes, I hate it.
Hell yeah. Alright, Apex Legends, FF14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone. Let's be real, it's between FF14 and Genshin.
Yeah, No Man's Sky won this last year, and I got that bang on. I think it's whatever the Genshin people show up. That's my thing. I don't think they'll show up.
Probably not.
Because Genshin won. I think the thing that Genshin won last year was best mobile game. It wasn't even like.
I think Among Us.
It didn't even win best mobile
game.
Did
it not win anything?
It should have won best mobile game.
If Among Us won best mobile game, then I'm gonna say that FF14 wins this because I don't think people are gonna show up for it.
I also think FF14's gonna win, but for the sake of being different, I'll give my vote to Genshin.
Oh, okay. He really loves those pulls, ladies and gentlemen. He really loves those waifu pulls.
Yeah, it's the pulls that don't love me.
Hunter, what are you going for?
My vote is also with FF14.
Good, because I already put that in your column.
Thanks, buddy.
Anyway.
All right. Next up is Best Indie.
Indie?
Yeah. Indeed. We got 12 Minutes, Death Door, Inscription, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and Loop Hero. Hunter, you've played quite a few of these.
I have played 3 of them.
That is more than half.
Yeah.
And by definition, quite a few.
I think that Death's Door, most likely, like, it's the one that had the most sustained conversation after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just the one that people liked more.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely agree. Again, to me, this one's a harder one in my opinion because I feel like this is a year where it's been such a good year for indies where there isn't a standout to me where it's like, oh, I definitely think this is going to win. I think that
a lot of times there's an indie, like, in previous years, there's the indie of the year that gets the game of the year nom, too.
Always, dude.
Yeah.
Always.
Like Celeste, Hades, even Inside from years ago.
Oh, 100%. And I'm just like, this list, if it shows anything, it's like, indies really saved this year in terms of like keeping like having every month having like a really good game release, because
or at least a game of note.
Yeah, because it's been a really dry year. As much as people try and say it hasn't been, it has been a bit of a dry year. It comes and goes. There'll be a month with a load of games in it, and then there'll be a month with literally nothing in it. But hey, yeah, Hunter, what are you going with? Kenna?
No, I'm going with Death's Door.
Oh, you're going with Death's Door? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with Kenna.
Cool.
I think I'm going with Kenna for the sole purpose of this shouldn't be in this category really because it had a huge marketing push by Sony. I think it's a bit like it's a bit of a cheat, but it's one of those games like No Man's Sky where in people's heads it's not an indie because of how much Sony's marketed it. But when they see it, they're going to be like, oh, that is an indie, then I'm going to vote for it because I saw a lot of it and it looked really high quality because Sony put a lot of money into it. Let's go. Rise up. Kyle, what are you thinking?
Put my vote on 12 minutes.
Vote for 12 minutes. You know you want to.
I do want to.
Oh.
Who was it? I think it was Imran Khan who had the funniest tweet. Like, I genuinely laughed. And you're only going to get this if you know the twist for
was
the
this
game.
when it got announced for the other consoles?
No, it was when he got announced for the Game Awards, and Imran Khan was like, shocked 12 minutes didn't get a nom for best family game, and I literally cried with laughter. I was at work and I literally had to stop for a second because I was properly chuckling to myself. I was like, fair play. That was a good one.
That'd be funny.
But yeah, what's next, Kyle?
Best mobile game.
Oh boy.
Presented by Verizon.
Oh, they don't sponsor this show. Fuck you, Verizon.
As a customer of Verizon, I agree.
As someone that has never used Verizon but hasn't heard anything good about them, fuck you. Anyway, Kyle, what
Fantasian, Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, well, I'm already typing Pokemon Unite into my vote column.
I'm gonna say it. I think Pokemon Unite was kind of the one people weren't expecting to be good, but was
I just want to put
definitely
this out.
More than people expected it to be.
I want to put this on record. I don't think it's good. I just think it's Pokemon. I want to put that out there. It's a League clone.
Like, it's a MOBA, and it has one of the most popular IP in existence.
I think that's going to win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was going to say, I think I said last year that Genshin was like a hard lock. Actually, this is the same sheet. I can have a look at mobile game. No, I put Among Us, but I said Genshin should win. So there we go. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, I also think Genshin should win, because, again, getting that game to run on a phone is impressive.
They can't get it to run on Switch, but they can get it to run on a phone.
They barely got it to run on PS4.
Yeah, exactly. But no.
Yeah.
Pokemon's a fair shout, I think, personally.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Next is Best Community Support.
Okay.
All right. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, FF14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky.
Okay, I'm locking in FF14 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all in agreement. Cool. I feel like that's a obvious one. Yeah, moving on. No, I don't have anything to say. Genuinely.
Innovation in accessibility, presented by Chevrolet.
Chevrolet?
I don't know why, dude.
The most accessible car on the planet.
Is it just because Forza's in here? Like,
Anyway, what are the noms?
Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon, Guardians of the Galaxy, Rift Apart, and The Veil, Shadow of the Crown.
You did say Rift Apart, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's getting my vote.
Yeah, it has the whole Sony first party. We're gonna put the resources into it.
Not just that. Don't you remember they did the classic PlayStation blog post a month before the game releases saying, here's our accessibility options, and they had like a 15-minute video going through every connotation and every little like every combination of thing you could ever do with them. And then all the journalists then went, look at all these accessibility options. And again, I think that in my head, I don't remember the nominations off by heart because we haven't talked about them in 2 weeks. But as soon as you said accessibility, I'm like, Ratchet's going to win. I didn't even know if it was a nom. I was like, Ratchet's probably going to win. That's my head, personally. I don't know. Kyle, you want to prove me wrong? Or are you?
I don't know. I haven't played any of these games.
They are good accessibility. Like I say, if anything wins this, then it's good because they're doing some good shit. But Ratchet, to me, is the one that's probably going to win. If not, then it'll probably be Forza. But
probably... put me down for Forza.
Okay, cool. Someone's got to appreciate the cars, because Game of the Year definitely didn't. What's next?
VR and AR.
Cool, I have not got a VR headset. Let's do this.
We can skip it, but if you want to do it, okay.
Nah, we can skip it. I'm kidding. We can skip it.
Hitman 3, because it deserves to win something, don't it?
It really does.
Literally, fucking 07's the Hitman 3, not getting a Game of the Year nom. Fuck me. Like, people are sad about Forza. I'm sitting here going, Hitman came out in January and got like an 88. Fucking poor Hitman, dude.
Next is Best Action Game. We got Back for Blood.
Yeah.
No. Presented by nobody, dude.
Oh, not presented by Hercules? Damn, that's a shame.
Presented by Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we got Back for Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal.
You said Deathloop's in here, yeah.
I think Deathloop wins this.
Deathloop.
I think Returnal should win, but Deathloop is going to.
Deathloop's going to win this. I hate to see it. I'm not a Deathloop... Right, I just want to say, I'm not a Deathloop hater. I think it's a good game. I just think it's definitely the most overhyped video game that has come out this year. And it's not even close. Metroid is also a bit overrated, but in my opinion, I still think it's a great game. But Deathloop, on the other hand, is genuinely... It's like a good game. It's not a great game. I liked Dishonored. From the little I've played of Dishonored, I think Dishonored's better. And that's saying something because I literally have only played like 2 hours of Dishonored, and I played the entirety of Deathloop, and I went, Dishonored felt more fun, but that's just me. Anyway, action adventure next. Separate category.
Action adventure. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna say, but you guys go first because I keep going first, and you guys keep copying me.
I think Dread takes it.
Okay.
Yeah. Metroid Dread.
I'm going with Ratchet.
Between that or I was gonna say
that
between that or Ratchet and.
I also think Dread will probably win it, but I also think Dread doesn't deserve it because I don't know. Like, my whole thing with Dread is, as good of a game Dread is, it's literally Nintendo showing up to class with the same fucking project that it has done for all the other 2D Metroid games, and then everyone giving it a round of applause again. It's a great game, but it's a great game that feels like a 20-year-old game. It doesn't necessarily feel modern, and all of these modern improvements they've made aren't modern because they've been a part of gaming since the PS2. It's just they've not given the franchise a chance to come out since then, so they've only made these adjustments now. Yeah. So, to me, I think it should be Ratchet, but I agree that I think Dread will probably win it because Nintendo fans fucking know how to spam a vote scheme because they only get like 3. They only get 3 games outside of family where they always win. Anyway, RPG time to fucking cringe.
Finally, something I can talk about.
Oh boy.
All right, best role playing. We got Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunt Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise.
If Cyberpunk wins this, I am literally going to bed on the night.
Stream just gets cut right there.
If Cyberpunk wins this, I'm literally going out the window.
He'll point his webcam and everything, guys. youtube.com/hotgamersonly. But now, I know what I'm gonna put my money on. I think Tails will win.
Me too.
See, I was thinking Monster Hunter Rise.
Really? Go on.
Yeah.
It's a good shout.
It's just one of those games that kind of took over the culture for a little bit. Came out early in the year. People really enjoyed it.
Here's the thing: is I feel like it took over its. I think it took over its niche. But the thing is, is Tales got the critical acclaim. So I feel like Tales is going to get the critics' side. I think I agree that the audience is going to lean more towards Rise, but I feel like the critics are going to sway it more than the audience. I don't think it's going to be a huge... Because sadly, some people are going to vote Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So that's going to skew the audience. So I'm personally going with Tales, but I also... Monster Hunter is I always underestimate how powerful of a franchise Monster Hunter is, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's between Tales and Monster Hunter, if decency has anything to say about it. But my vote goes with Tales.
Rip Scarlet Nexus.
I'm just glad it's here, dude.
Yeah, it's just nice to see
we didn't get a lot for Scarlet Nexus.
It'd be tragic if it wasn't fucking here. Can you name another RPG that came out?
No.
Exactly.
Tales.
Oh yeah, that game.
That gets 2021's Hunter Shill Award for fucking Hunter Shut Up About a Video Game, presented by Ethan.
I don't know, Ethan. If we went off the RPGs I played this year, the Xenosaga trilogy would be here. Because I don't play modern games.
Maybe next year,
which is terrible
if they
for
release any.
A podcast.
I know, right?
Someday I'll learn.
One day you'll understand that his actions have consequences. Is fighting game next?
Ooh, something else I can talk about. Fighting games. Demon Slayer, Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood, Nick All-Stars Brawl, and Virtua Fighter. I don't see a world where Guilty Gear doesn't win this. Truthfully.
Yeah, same. It's a dumb bet to bet on anything other than Guilty Gear here.
Yeah. Again, it's the kind of thing that took over the culture for a little bit.
Not even that. There's nothing on here that does this is the
nothing
game
else
deserves
it.
It wasn't exactly a slamming year for fighting games if they nominated All Stars Brawl.
Hunter, it never is. Most of the time, the fighting
it never
game
is.
Most of the
it's
time,
always Street Fighter.
Last year it was re-releases.
Literally, let's just be grateful new fighting games came out this year, so we're not doing this fucking contest again where it's between Mortal Kombat 11, Street Fighter 5, and Tekken again.
The year before, where Jump Force got nominated, and that is now being cancelled.
My favourite one is Smash Bros. Winning 2020s when it came out literally the day after the last Game Awards. So it was literally the first potential nominee for that category, and it won the next year because nothing else came out. And it literally came out literally as the Game Awards was airing, it came out. That is how dumb this category is, but no, there's no way. Anyway.
Incredible.
Next, thank you, next.
Best family game.
Presented by Nintendo.
It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together.
I'm going to say this. I think this is going to be the year where Nintendo doesn't win it.
Mm-hmm.
You think It Takes Two is going to get it?
It Takes Two is not a family game and should not be nominated for this category, but it is going to win it regardless. Because Nintendo, bless them. I love Mario Party Superstars. Don't get me wrong. I've had a blast with it. But
Mario Party Fridays.
Mario Party Fridays, guys, you love to see it. But
Except
they have nothing exceptional. They've had nothing exceptional this year, especially in the family game department. Like, I think this is the year, the biggest year since like 2017 that I've bought most of Nintendo's releases this year. Yet it's the most underwhelming year of Switch for me. How does that add up? Like, literally, how does that add up? The best game that's come out on the Switch this year, arguably, the two best games are, one is a port of fucking 3D World with a new bit of 3-hour content, which is great, but it came out in February and it's 3 hours. And the other one is not made by Nintendo, and that's SMT5. So it's like, Nintendo literally didn't show up this year. Really. They showed up with bits and pieces, but that's all. They brought the leftovers to the table. They were like, oh, we got a Mario Party, we got a WarioWare. There was nothing big. And that's why It 2 will win this category. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Is that it?
See your point? And I'm still going to put down Mario Party.
Really? Fuck me.
Because I'm voting with my heart.
Okay.
I'm taking the Hunter approach.
Hunter?
that doesn't work out most of the time, Kyle. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, check the Fantasy League.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I am ahead of everyone besides you by a commanding amount.
Yeah, but then I'm ahead of everyone else by a commanding amount.
Yeah, but I have 69 points in that, so who's the real winner?
Me. Hunter, what are you voting for?
Mario Party.
Hell yeah, that's my boy.
Okay, let's do us. How many categories do we have left?
Do we care about sim strategy?
No.
Cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator's gonna win it anyway.
Probably, yeah.
Best sports racing? Do we care?
Is there any
Horizon?
Yeah.
Or
so
FIFA?
Sim we're all putting
Hot Wheels Unleashed.
So I want to say this, right? So for Sim, we're all putting Flight Sim, right? Because we might as well. Because we might
twice.
Because it came out on Xbox this year. That's how it got nominated twice. Was last year was PC, this year's Xbox. Sports, it's 100%.
Different things.
Forza 100% wins sports because FIFA has nothing. Because remember, guys, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled got this award against FIFA and NBA and everybody else. Because none of those normies watch the Game Awards, let alone vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, of course Forza's going to win it.
And then best multiplayer.
Is this the second to last one?
Yeah, besides Game Awards.
What are the noms for multiplayer?
Game of the Year. Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim.
If Valheim or New World win, I'm gonna cry.
I don't think New World would win. Like, the reception to that game seemed pretty mixed when it came out.
Valheim might, just because of how big it was on Twitch, but I hope it doesn't. Again, my heart wants It Takes Two to win. Big. My heart wants It Takes Two. But also Monster Hunter's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's a big boy. I am voting more of my heart this year. I'm definitely going to do worse than I did last year. I'm going to go again for my boy Joseph Ferris because I want one victory speech from Joseph Ferris at this Game Awards. And if I don't get it, I'm not watching next year. Jeff. Rig the vote.
Put my vote to Monster Hunter Rise.
Okay.
Just for fun, I'll vote for Knockout City.
Fuck me. Does anyone remember Knockout City? Like, people cared about that game for a good 24 hours.
I mean, it lasted long. It had more buzz than Outriders did, which was one that literally only lasted for 24 hours.
Yeah, true. Do you know what always makes me laugh? Do you remember when Fall Guys came out and it was huge, and then Among Us kind of took the spotlight and everyone was like, Fall Guys is dead, and now no one plays Among Us, but Fall Guys has a consistent community and it keeps having updates. Don't you think that's really interesting?
That is funny.
It's kind of funny that Fall Guys is still like
it still hasn't come to the Switch either.
No, they announced this week that it got delayed. That's also a bit of news that we aren't covering.
Comedy.
God, how long does it take to put beans on a Switch, guys? Think about it. Press the copy paste button. Jeez. Game of the year time.
So there's also best debut indie and most anticipated game. Do we care about those?
Best debut indie is probably Kana's.
Debut indie and what? What's the other one?
And most anticipated game presented by Prime Gaming.
Any primers? Right, we'll do them. What's debut indie?
All right, debut indie. We have The Artful Escape, Forgotten City, Kana Bridge of Spirits, Sable, and Valheim.
Yeah, Kana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the
Cool.
an anticipated game?
Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Starfield.
I'm going with Elden Ring. Never bet against the internet not fucking having a hard-on for a FromSoft game. That's all I'm saying. Never bet against it.
Ethan's got a point.
I see where you're coming from.
It's
But
that's the
Nintendo bias.
That's the only fucking game, I guess, for Horizon, but Horizon's not winning. It's the only Elden Ring out of that list is the only game that's actually coming out next year that isn't Horizon. Let's be real here, because God of War doesn't have a date, neither does Breath of the Wild because it's not coming out. I'm going with Elden Ring.
So it doesn't say anticipated game of 2022. It just says anticipated game.
Yeah, Elden Ring.
Most of the time, I don't think people. He's got Elden Ring is the right answer.
Yeah,
though.
thank you. Like literally, I'm not having this. I'm not having any.
I don't think anyone's
disagree with
no one's made at least not to my knowledge, the how many days since a Zelda update channel in between that gap.
Yeah, we got. Yo, shout outs to my homie Mordecai bringing us the daily Elden Ring updates, dude. Not gonna lie, mate, I stopped watching as soon as there were updates because then the joke wasn't funny. It was more funny listening to him slowly lose the will to live when it was like day 6023 and I'm losing an Elden Ring today. It's been 17 years. Please let me out of my basement. Anyway, game of the year time.
Right then. Game of the year time, indeed.
Presented by Hot Gamers Only. Wow.
We got Deathloop. We got It Takes Two. We got Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. First of all, how do y'all feel about the spread of the games we got?
Why was Resident Evil nominated instead of Returnal?
That's my only criticism. Most of the time, this is how I usually feel. Most of the time when I see Game of the Year for Game Awards, this is the exact same emotion I have every year. Is I'm always like, I agree with nearly all of them. One of them I'd swap with something else. And that's always the way it is. And yeah, I would 100% swap Resident Evil Village with Returnal. But other than that, I think it's a good spread. I'm happy that It Takes Two in particular got a nom. Because, can we just say, number of platformers that got a nomination, literally...
Shocking.
I don't think this many platformers have ever been nominated, especially for Game of the Year. Like, this really was a year for...
You're lucky if you get one.
Literally, when you think about it, right, you've got It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet & Clank, which are full-on platformers. Then you have Metroid Dread and Metroid Dread that has platforming elements. Deathloop that has parkour and platforming elements to it because it's all about teleporting and jumping around buildings and stuff like that. And then Resident Evil Village.
And then there's Resi.
Where you're glued to the ground.
Yeah. Now, Returnal, on the other hand, has a jump button.
It does. It has a jump. It has a dash. It has a grappling hook.
Illegal. But now, you see, I don't want Deathloop to win it but I feel like it's going to.
It's gonna.
In my heart.
I don't want that as much as you do.
You see, I don't mind it. Here's the thing: is I don't mind it. It's just the most generic. It's the most generic gaming media win of all time. Because I look at all these games and I look at Ratchet & Clank, which I think has the best graphics of any game I've ever played, probably. I look at It Takes Two and seeing such an excellently crafted platformer from such a small indie studio that's done such a great job. I look at Metroid Dread, which, even though it's a really fucking old like genre, they've really refined it to a point where it's a really darn good Metroidvania. I look at Psychonauts 2, they made an excellent platformer, and Double Fine have done what they do every time, which is make a great game. And I look at Resident Evil, and I'm also like, even though it's not the strongest Resident Evil, I think, why? Where's Returnal? A great game.
Why are you here? Get out of here, weird-looking Chris Redfield.
I also think that Resident Evil, even though people didn't like it as much as I think people wanted to, I still think that there's some things they did cool in that game. Whereas Deathloop, I feel like Deathloop has only gotten praised because it's an arcane game. I think that's the only reason to me why it's been highly praised. Because...
And the fact that it was thrown at us in every PlayStation Direct.
I don't even think that, because fucking Godfall had that syndrome, and look, it doesn't exist well, it shouldn't exist anymore.
You could argue that it never should have existed.
So to me, Deathloop is the most boring pick, because it's literally only been nominated because it's an arcane game. And that sucks, because, in my opinion, from the couple of hours that I have played of other arcane games, I played a couple of hours of the original Dishonored. I think I may have played a tiny bit of Dishonored 2 as well, back in the day. I don't even think it was that far long ago, was it? It was like 2016, 2017, wasn't it? Dishonored 2? I don't remember.
It was the end of 2016, yeah.
So it's like, it's my least favourite arcane game that I've played, and the other two arcane games that I played, I only played a couple of hours of each. So it's like, I don't know. But I'm putting it down as Deathloop's going to win, but I would, other than Resident Evil Village, I wish that any of the other four won. That is my wish, but I'm going with Deathloop. Are you the same, Kyle?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Hunter?
But, like, I'm just thinking about the pop-off Joseph Ferris would have if he actually won Game of the Year.
Oh,
it'd be so good.
My Game of the Year would be Joseph Ferris's award speech for winning Game of the Year. What about you, Hunter? Are you going with the normie answer?
Just for fun, I'll choose differently. Let's go with Metroid.
No, just for fun, I'll choose the game I developed.
Yeah.
You fake and a fraud.
Honestly, for the meme of the whole saga of
year
of what my prediction of this game coming out, I should vote for it on that alone.
True.
But yeah, so Metroid.
No, there we go. That's our predictions for the awards themselves. Sorry for the typing, by the way, but now we've got them there. So now, next week, we can actually have a point system like we did last year, instead of just going, I don't know, I think we guessed right. So that'll be fun. We're going to spice it up now. That's the boring part. So now we have some fun, where we're going to predict some random stuff. So, Cal has 5. I don't know how many you have, Hunter. But we all have a couple of predictions. Some are normal predictions that we think might happen. Some are reasonable. Some might be wacky as shit. We'll see. Of what we think might happen at the Game Awards. There's no points. This is all for fun. So there's nothing to lose. But there's also everything to gain. Because if you get it right, you're a god. You get to personally fire Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Who wants to start? Go on, Hunter.
37 minutes and 25 seconds of ads will be shown at the Game Awards.
I'm not. You're counting. I'm not counting. I'll be heavily like I'll be nearly asleep during the whole thing. So you better have like a stopwatch on your phone, and every time an ad comes up, you better press start and then pause. Okay. How many was that? 27 minutes.
37 minutes and 25 seconds.
Fucking hell, that's a good guess. Kyle, do you want to guess? Do you want to go in on this? 37 minutes. Do you want to? I'm gonna go with. How long's the show usually? It's like from like 12.
It's like 3 hours.
I'm just throwing darts too because I don't know what time the show is.
I'm gonna go with 26 minutes 30. I think it's gonna be less. Obviously, not including world premieres. This is literally just like random shit. Like,
yeah, I'm not talking about
the hydro bar,
like the Schick hydro.
Yeah.
Man.
I love how we go to the exact same shitty ad. Like,
The worst part is, like, I hated all of the ads from last year substantially more than Hydro Man. He's just the most memorable because it was a walking razor blade with arms.
True, dude. Kyle, what's your number?
Hunter, what'd you say? 37
Yeah.
minutes?
37 minutes and 25 seconds.
Alright, I'm gonna say 32 minutes and 54 seconds.
That's basically 33 minutes, okay. Right, so we got 26, 37, and
Gotta
33.
hit the specifics.
Okay, we'll see how it works. Hunter, hope you got your stopwatch ready. Hope you got your phone charged for the day. That's a good one. Kyle, I'm sure that yours isn't as random as that, but what's your first one?
So do you guys remember the Perfect Dark remake that got shown like once?
Yeah.
You think they'll bring it back? Because
Not this year.
Not ever. I don't know. Maybe they could do a teaser. Xbox is the kind of company that would bring something back to say, "Hey, here's another JPEG, still working on it," and then walk away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they are the kind of people that would do that.
just kind of like another proof that like, hey, it still exists.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a normal one for my first one. Here it is. This is the full thing that I wrote. Crash Bandicoot's Wumpa League is announced as Jeff Keighley is a coward and Bobby Kotick should be fired. That is the sentence I wrote. This comes from him. Jeff Keighley made like a statement saying that they're not choosing sides over the Game Awards, which to me screams they have an Activision trailer in this fucking awards show somewhere. So I think it's probably Crash Bandicoot because he's shown up before there. So that's my guess. But obviously Bobby Kotick should be fired. Thank you. I think that'd be hilarious. If Jeff Keighley now does a power move and after the Crash Bandicoot trailer shows up, he goes, "Ha, that's great. Always good to see Crash. And remember, fire Bobby Kotick," and then moves on. And then we'll forgive him. Okay, Hunter. Next.
Alright, so Xbox has started to garner a reputation of being like the console of the people for the past year or two.
Phil Spencer is the Messiah.
Yeah, exactly. And,
turning water into Game Pass subscriptions. It's great.
Yeah. You know, they own Rareware, and what's one of Rareware's most beloved
Oh god, you're not
characters?
saying Banjo.
I mean, I am saying Banjo. Banjo returns.
Okay, so this actually ties into something I had written down.
Oh god, go on.
There was a rumor floating around like a year ago that Double Fine was going to work on a Banjo-Kazooie game.
That'd be fun.
So, I have that down.
I think you have more of a chance of Banjo coming back than you do Double Fine working on it. Because one, they've just finished Psychonauts, and two, Tim Schafer to me seems like the kind of person where if Xbox was like, "Would you like one of our IPs?" he would literally say, "Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna make a stupid thing about Lego, but we won't call it Lego. We'll call it Tlego and add a T to it." And turns out they're actually rubber. And they can turn into, I don't know, cows.
Stego,
yeah.
And they turn into dinosaurs.
Oh, now we're talking, dude. Now that's a Double Fine production right there. I feel like Banjo's inevitable at this point.
At some point, yeah.
Crash and Spyro have come back. I feel like Banjo is like a missing link of those kind of 3D platformers that need to come back at some point. I'm sure he will. It's just a matter of when and where.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by whom?
Yeah. You see, I did have it's in my dream predictions. These aren't actual predictions, but it was in my dream predictions was whatever Sly project is being worked on at the moment at PlayStation gets revealed. I don't think we'll see it yet. I still think it's too early. I don't think they'll show it, but we know it's happening because they love keep bringing back Sly, not Jack and Daxter. Get fucking salty haters. My actual one is this one. Hunter's probably going to like this one. Returnal DLC announced for PS5. I think if Sony shows up, that's what they're going to show. Because Housemarque have been teasing that they're working on something Returnal, so I feel like a DLC for that game is probably going to be quite a nice little thing. I think they'll probably do like a little side story where it's like two worlds or something, like two little
like
areas.
2 biomes.
Yeah, that are back to back, and it's like a really hard thing, and it's just like, have
That'll be
fun. Like, I think it's going to be a thing where it's like, take your maxed level character or whatever through it. It's like, good luck with that. Have fun with that. So I think there'll be something interesting like that. I also have we'll put these two together as the Sony ones. I also think the Uncharted PC ports will get a release date. No one will care, but I think they're going to show them again. Okay, there you go. I swear, not all of mine are this boring. Go on, Hunter.
Oh, all right, it is back to me because Kyle already.
Yeah, Kyle doubled down on the banjo.
On the Double Fine.
So Sony acquired Bluepoint a while ago.
Yeah, Bloodborne 2.
And yeah.
Yeah. Make it, you cowards.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. I think it's still
Me
a bit too soon. I think that if they have a deal, I know Sony owns the IP, but they are still friendly with From. So I feel like if they were going to do it, they would at least have the courtesy to wait till Elden Ring is out before they announce it, because the thing with Demon's Souls was they always knew Demon's Souls was going to come out before Elden Ring, so I don't think they were that fussed, but I feel like they're going to at least wait, because it's only in February. But I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Kyle?
All right. So this is the last of my boring predictions. Okay. I think we're going to get another look at Final Fantasy 16. Like a more in-depth look.
That's a good shout, actually. I didn't think of Final Fantasy 16. That is a good shout.
That one slipped my mind, too.
That's a good shout. I almost put on Kingdom Hearts, but they did say that they're not showing anything until 2022 for whatever's next. So I know Square Enix is the kind of people to then go, it's close enough. Round down. Show something anyway, but I think Final Fantasy 16 is a much better shout, because I still think that game's coming out next year, personally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good shout. I like it. Here's another one. Nintendo doesn't show up at all with any announcements.
Yeah.
Last year, the only thing they showed was Smash. I genuinely think they're not going to show anything.
And it was Sephiroth.
Yeah, and it was fucking
not
Sephiroth.
Even a Nintendo character.
I genuinely think they're not going to show up with anything. I think my favorite thing is watching these predictions videos and having everybody go, Nintendo's going to come with Zelda. Nintendo's going to show a Mario thing. Nintendo's going to do this. And Nintendo's not even going to fucking show up. Reggie's going to show up because he's no longer part of Nintendo and be like, hey guys, it's me, Reggie. Remember me? And then everyone's going to go, yay, Reggie.
Yay, Reggie.
And that's it. that's
Where's
it.
Mother 3, Reggie?
I just have, I don't know why, I have this feeling that Nintendo's just not going to show up because we'll get a Direct in January.
This has like the same energy as back during E3 this year when I said there was going to be no Mario Kart 9. Just because everyone's expecting it. Yeah,
but I'm just going all in on an entire like a whole publisher, a whole console. I'm like, Switch ain't showing up basically because no one's going to make ports for it.
What's a Switch?
So yeah, there you go. Hunter?
There are at least half a dozen very irritating Marvel's Avengers ads.
How many of them feature Spider-Man?
At least 4.
At least 4. Nice. I like it. I like it. Kyle?
Alright. So after Guilty Gear Strive wins Fighting Game of the Year, I think they're going to show their 4th DLC character.
Solid.
I feel like this is kind of a low chance of happening because they just released Robbie Daymond into their video game.
Yeah, but they got to get Max Millman in there now, right? Or Ray Chase. Who is it?
I hope so. With any luck, like, I'll even try and predict the character. I hope it's gonna be Johnny.
Nice.
Johnny's so cool, dude. And I just want him so that I have a reason to care about this game again.
I like it. Let's look at these. I had a couple of boring ones for actual awards, but we went through those, so I will not mention me crying over Deathloop winning Game of the Year and me staying up before I have a work night to see that result. Okay, here's one. This is more of a Hunter kind of one. Joseph Fares will win an award for It Takes Two, and during his speech, he will mention the Oscars again, talk about how great his game is and his team. Hang on, where's the other bit? And will mention the Take-Two controversy, specifically saying fuck Take-Two when he probably shouldn't for legal reasons. The story behind this is Take-Two is...
Bobby Kotick.
Take-Two... Oh, you might mention that as well. Take-Two is currently trying to... they're not trying to sue them, but they're trying to do something, yeah. Because It Takes Two sounds like Take-Two. So they're trying to like say that they're using their IP or like they're using that their name. I'm like, this is dumb. And I bet Joseph Ferris has probably been told by EA to not mention it, and he's going to win an award, and in the buzz, he's 100% going to mention it. There you go. That's my prediction for Joseph Ferris. Hunter, do you have any more?
Hideo Kojima's Xbox game.
His Xbox game?
Yeah.
Not his PlayStation one, his Xbox one.
The Xbox one that everyone's all chattering about.
Okay. Fair. Any guesses on what it is?
I sure hope it's a horror game. Maybe I'll go take the effort to get myself an Xbox.
See, I've heard that the Sony one is the horror game, and that the Xbox one's this weird thing with cloud gaming.
Oh, yeah. So, Kojima would just make a cloud gaming horror game.
Cloud gaming is horrible. Like, is a horror enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Already.
It's not actually that bad. I kid. I do have PlayStation now. It works all right. It's fine. It does the job. Kyle, do you have any more?
Yes. I think so. Last week in the kerfuffle of nothing happening, we forgot to mention of the Chrono Cross remaster rumors were starting to circulate again.
Yeah.
Remaster/remake. I think it's going to show up.
I do too.
That's like my dream. I would love to see Chrono Cross get recognized on a big stage like this because it deserves it.
Yeah.
It really does.
I think it's 100% happening, and I do also think that it will show up. I feel like it's time. The rumors kind of just keep boiling up at this point. So I think that's 100% a good shout. Here's one.
Oh no.
Jeff will rattle out best fighting game, best family game, best sports and racing, and best ongoing game during the pre-show along with the esports shit and never mention them again. Oh, those specific categories.
Best music also.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. He hates music.
Yeah.
There. I'm just waiting for him in the final 3 minutes of the pre-show to go, and here's a load of awards, and here's a load of awards, and here's Linkin Park, and they're going to take up 10 minutes of the show.
Here's Linkin Park.
I have a feeling that's it. Does anyone have any others?
No.
Linkin Park taking up 10 minutes. That'd be funny.
I have 3 more, which are dream predictions. These aren't going to happen, but if they do happen, I will flip my shit live on camera. Number 1, it ends an hour in. I get an early night.
That'd be so nice.
That's the whole prediction. It just ends. There we go. All right. Prediction number 2.
Ends.
Prediction number 2. If Nintendo does show up, Xenoblade 3.
Oh, good shout.
Because it's the only game that we know exists that they haven't talked about. Thank you, Jenna Coleman, and thank you, Imran Khan, for doing good service. Thank you. Here's the final one. Most likely of them, still don't think it's going to happen. The Persona announcement for December happens at the Game Awards.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably a port of something, but it shows up. That's my dream prediction. I think it's
Persona 5 fighters?
Or it's that. Who knows what it is, but I think if because I don't know when else they would put the Persona... Where else would they put the Persona thing? Because like the first
Boxing Day.
Fucking Christmas Day. That
is when everyone saves the world in those games.
True.
Yeah.
The announcement is a Christmas card from Atlas to you. Go fuck yourself.
Or the day after Christmas, postcard from Joker in jail.
But no, like they've shown Persona stuff at the Game Awards before. They had the Strikers music performance last year. They had Joker's reveal for Smash, which was still such a hype moment.
Amazing.
I feel like I've put it in dream predictions, but it's more leaning towards realism. I can see that happening if there is a Persona thing, especially if it's not a huge thing. Like if it's just like Golden coming to PS4 and Switch, or Persona 3 coming to PS4 or Switch or PC or something. I feel like that could 100% be like a Jeff Keighley going, now to take a look at an old classic, and then he fucking puts the world premiere music on for 5 seconds, and then PS2 graphics show up, and you're like, oh god, it must be Atlas. The models still look like shit. It must be Atlas. Woo! Let's go. But no. That's it, I think. I think we're done. There you go. Fun predictions.
Yeah.
How many will come true? Who will win the ad war? Let's find out. So we got through those rather quickly, I'd say. Quick enough. Let's do a bit of rapid fire news. Does anyone have the PlayStation thing actually up? Let me have a look. I'll get it up. Because we'll talk about it. It was from Bloomberg. So we're going to talk about the new PlayStation Plus rumor, which isn't a rumor because it's Jason Schreier. Which, as anyone knows, if Jason Schreier is reporting it, chances are it's probably true. Who's talked about PlayStation's new service to take on Xbox Game Pass. Here we go. It's been a long time coming. And what's its codename? Spartacus. I fucking hate it. Thank you, Sony.
I got a good chuckle out of that name.
They're always
cracked me up too.
They never call him like Jerry or anything, do they? Like codename Jerry. He's coming out in spring 2022.
Codename Jerry.
But no, PlayStation is planning a new subscription service to compete with rival Microsoft's popular Xbox Game Pass, according to people familiar with Sony's blah blah blah. The service is codenamed Spartacus and will allow PlayStation owners to pay a monthly fee for access to a catalogue of classic and modern games. So there's 3 tiers to it. It's all going to be called PlayStation Plus, which, yeah, get rid of PlayStation now. Who gives a shit, right? 3 tiers. Tier 1 is the one that we already have. You get your monthly games. You get your online. That's tier 1. Tier 2 is what is... I'm calling it PlayStation Now-ish. Where you get access to you'll get access to a library of PS4 and PS5 games is tier 2. And then the final tier, which will be tier 3, is you get access to those on top of access to classic titles from the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and according to this, also the PlayStation Portable. Again, you just pay the monthly price. I assume it'll be priced similar to Game Pass, probably. So yeah, they haven't mentioned if these classic games are downloadable or if it is streaming only. Spoiler alert, it's probably streaming only.
Mm-hmm.
But no, what do you guys think about this? Because I don't know, I already pay for PS Plus, right? It's the tax at this point.
Yeah.
It's like the console tax.
Just...
You have to keep upping it.
Yeah.
Would you guys be interested? Because we've had this discussion before with the Nintendo Switch Expansion Pass, which is like $50 for 3 N64 games you've already paid. You've already played like 6 million times. Can we mention that them adding just Paper Mario in December is a fucking piss take? Can we just mention?
Oh my god!
I think someone said
it's the good Paper Mario.
Someone said at this rate, then the games that they showed as coming soon during the announcement are all the games that will be in the lineup coming in 2022. Like, they'll get around to all of them by the end of 2022 if they keep adding them at the pace they're adding them. That's sad.
Like, how hard is it to just dump a bunch of ROMs onto a service?
It isn't. It's just Nintendo being fucking Nintendo. I don't get it. But I don't know. Hunter, you are what we call a physical bitch, where you love your physical coffee.
As opposed
that sounds so much worse
HGO
if you take this out.
Dude. HGO out of context.
Yes, that's exactly what people say when they see me.
As opposed to those metaphysical bitches.
Those digital bitches, am I right, guys?
Yeah, okay. I would not use this service to buy new games, like things that are currently coming out and all that. But having the old catalog of things that, I'd have to sacrifice my left arm to obtain.
Hell yeah.
If Silent Hill 3 goes up on that someday, I'm all over it.
I mean, I've always been of the opinion of as soon as I get an Xbox, which is hopefully before Starfield comes out in 2024, I would get a Game Pass because it's such a good deal. Because it's the perfect service for not games that you want to get like on day one, right? Some games they do get on day one, and that's awesome, right? That's a really cool thing where you're like, oh, cool, I don't have to pay for this. I can literally just keep it on a subscription, right? But it's the perfect service for those games that you miss. For those games that are like, what came out, like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Which I heard is a great game, but I didn't get it when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure in 6 months, 9 months' time, that's going to show up on Game Pass. And that'll be the perfect, I never got around to that. I'll now go and download it and play it. And that's kind of what I've been doing with PlayStation Now. Well, PlayStation Now really does need this glow up because it is, compared to Game Pass, it's really fucking shit. But it's definitely that thing where this month I saw Celeste was on there and I'm like, I feel like playing Celeste. And it's not something that I would pay again. Like, I already own it on Switch, but it's like, it's not a game that I would think of paying for on PlayStation. But because it's there, I'll download it. And at the same time, I'm supporting the developer still because they get a chunk of that revenue because they count how many people download it or they've been paid up front. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just, because I'm fine with digital games, but to me, paying like, I don't know, $120 a year for an access to a really big catalog of games from like PS1 through 5, I'd be happy to do that. Especially when it's not
a super good deal.
Yeah.
It's an undoubtedly good deal, and I probably would get it when it's available, like I said, because of just all the other stuff I could get aside from just what I'm going to buy in the future.
I mean, the big question is will it be cloud? Because there's the third tier, by the way, the PS4 and PS5 game tier is just you can download the games like Game Pass. The tier 3 is the PlayStation Now aspect where you can stream them. Do you think that PS1 through 3 will just be streaming only? Because this is
shock me.
Because here's the thing, right? PS2 can be emulated on PS4 because they've done it. They have an emulator and they sold the. So to me,
they did it for about 30 games and then quit.
Yeah, but here's the thing: modders and like jailbreakers and stuff like that have figured out how that emulator works, and it can run most games. They just it's basically a Nintendo Switch Online button where you just drag the ISO in and set the settings correctly. So it's more like a fine tuning thing. I think PS2 could definitely be downloads, and I think PS1 can too. I think it's the middle child. It's the PS3.
It's the PS3 because they made this thing apparently super complicated to work with.
Yeah, just to work and not even to work with, just to work. It didn't work with anything. It was a nightmare. And, it just So to me, that's the big question: is if they figured out PS3 emulation, then fuck me, great deal. But because I feel like PS3 is also a generation that, even though a lot of us did have
PS3 emulation, they probably also figured out time travel.
True. But because the thing is, PS1 emulation, anything can run a fucking PS1 game. So PS1 games you could download. Same with PS2 because they've figured out an emulator for PS4 which runs on PS5. So it's just PS3. Because to me, if you can only stream the PS2 games, that's cheap because they've already figured it out and they've already got games that they can do that with. PS1, like I say, who can't run a PS1? We've been running PS1 emulators on shitty PCs since like 2009. That console was like the fastest. I swear the PS1 was like one of the fastest consoles from actual console release to having a really decent emulator on PCs. Like it was like one of the quickest. So it's like, to me, it's like, there's no excuse to not have a PS1 and PS2 emulator for the PS5. Oh, and 4. But PS3, man. I wish for PS3 because there's so many people like Kyle, like Sam, like Jack, right? All of our... did Kane? I don't even know if Kane had a PS3 either.
I don't think so. Barring, I think you and I are the only ones who had one.
And there are so many good games on PS3. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a load of beige. Like, there's a load of grey, there's a load of beige. But there's so many good PS3 games that a lot of people haven't played. Just because they don't have access to it. I would like to finally
play Sly 4.
The Ratchet Future trilogy is so good as well. You know?
PS3 is still the only place that Metal Gear Solid 4 exists on.
Infamous 1 and 2. Little Big Planet 1 and 2, which are also fucking excellent. There's
Dead Space.
Yeah.
I dusted off the PlayStation 3 a few months ago to play that one.
There is literally so much good stuff. I really hope that they figured it out. I don't think this is getting announced at the Game Awards, but I think they'll do a state of play on it.
That'd be wacky.
we'll know how good it is. If they just drop it on the blog, it's shit. If they go, we've got a state of play, it might be decent. If there's a video, it'll be decent. But no. It'll be interesting. When did they say Q1 or Q2? I don't remember.
Oh, shoot.
It'll be out in the first half, what is it? I don't remember. This is me doing really bad journalism here. Complete the service can will allow players. Jason Schreier is a liar. It's not on there. I don't have it. It's coming out early next year, some point between Q1 and Q2. I think it said spring. That was it. Spring was the word that they used. There we go. Right, that's that. I guess I should quickly talk about Danganronpa because I said I would, wouldn't I?
Yeah, it is in the background.
You want to.
You have to.
Yeah, we can talk. I'm not going to talk about.
Oh, is that the rule?
How about this? I won't give my impressions yet because I've mainly been playing V3 for those of you who care, and I haven't got to a kill yet. I've played for 5.5 hours. I haven't got to a fucking murder yet. I've been playing a murder mystery game for 5.5 hours, and I haven't found a murder or a mystery.
No murder.
So we're still waiting on that. But what I can talk about is the collection on Switch. There it is. Wow.
It's shiny.
It's shiny. It has a really nice case. But what I can say is I'll tell you everything about it, and if it runs well, the answer to it, does it run well? Yes, it runs well. They're like fucking PS Vita games. Of course they run well. Cool. One of the cool things for me, all 4 games are on the cartridge. No downloads.
Oh, nice.
They're all on the cartridge. They're all also separate on the home screen. So when you plug the cartridge in, you just get 4 fucking squares. Like literally, it's just like it's Danganronpa infects your Switch. It's like all Danganronpa.
My brother got the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, and that does the exact same thing on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's weird.
But yeah, so that's a thing. It comes with Danganronpa 1 Anniversary Edition, Danganronpa 2 Anniversary. I don't think the Anniversary Edition means anything other than it was released in this package, by the way. Yeah. But 1, 2, V3, and Danganronpa S, the new summertime Mario Party bollock shit that's apparently a load of garbage. But from the little bit, I did do my service. I did boot up Danganronpa 1 and 2 very quickly just to see if they ran, and I can confirm to you guys, get this, world exclusive, it's Danganronpa 1 and 2. What a shocker.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, they didn't lie.
More or less motion sickness this time?
I didn't get that far. I didn't get to Walking Hunter. I had to play. You have to play like an hour of a Danganronpa game to get to Walking.
I mean, you could have skipped the dialogue.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
Look at this man not doing his due diligence.
I got close enough, okay, but it looks good. It runs well from what I can tell. There's a bit of lag and load times are a bit of a problem on Danganronpa V3. Some of the transitions are a bit choppy and the load times are there and they're not existent on PS4 and PC. So that's just a heads up. But it's Danganronpa, man. If you like Danganronpa, chances are you've already played it and you bought it anyway. If you are interested in Danganronpa because you saw it in the direct, you've probably already bought it because there's not really anything else to play unless you're a JRPG fan at the moment. And yeah, it's a good collection. It's also, to be fair, it's a steal. It's like I don't even think it's a full priced game. I think it's $40. I don't even think it's $60. So for $40, you get all 3 main Danganronpa games, plus this shitty
and Mario Party
and the terrible board game, fan service board game where you see and swimsuits. Knuckles. Yeah.
And Knuckles.
And Knuckles. I wish. And Knuckles. But no, I'd recommend it. Also, it feels like one of those games that... It feels like a limited run game, even though it's not a limited run.
Oh, yeah, I get the exact same... I know what you mean.
I feel like this is going to be a Switch game where easy to get now. I feel like in the future it's going to be one of those ones that people... that might struggle to find. Yeah, wish they had. Mm-hmm. Which is what I did with Torna, and I will do it again here. And hopefully I'll be able to add it to my taunting pile where I can laugh at people that want it and go, I have it. I have a copy. But yeah, it's fun. It's Danganronpa. I hope someone dies in the next hour of it. Anyway. Shall we wrap it up, guys? Have we got anything else to talk about? You guys don't. Kyle's been playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Hunter, have you played anything this week?
I've just been playing like multiplayer games with my siblings.
Ew.
So like Mario
This
Party.
nerd
and...
socializing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll leave it there then. We'll be back with Game Awards review next week. I'll probably also include my actual first impressions on V3. I don't want to talk too much about it because, like I say, I haven't got to the actual gameplay part yet. So, best save that, but we'll get to it.
Once you finally beat this one, we can do an episode about the whole series.
Yeah, we could do like
maybe Sam can be rustled out of retirement.
Maybe. Or maybe we just literally just put like a sign out the front and just be like, wanted someone to talk about Danganronpa on a podcast and see if anyone shows up.
Anyone who's played Danganronpa.
Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, we hope you guys have enjoyed this very randomly paced episode of the HGO podcast. As always, our links are on screen right now. I won't knock down a drink this week. You can go and follow us on our social accounts for updates on all the stuff that we do outside of HGO. And my computer is fine, by the way. Some people did ask, and I was sitting there going, would the podcast be up if my computer was fucked?
No PCs were harmed.
Yeah, I'm like the episode got up, guys. I thought it was a given that the computer survived. But hey, there you go. If you don't care about us, that's cool. You can just go and follow us on Twitter at HotGamersOnly. Some people only do,
it's okay,
Kyle.
Neither do we.
Or hey, go to youtube.com/HotGamersOnly for the video version of the podcast each and every week. But if you don't want to look at our faces, that's okay. Head to your favorite podcast service, type Hot Gamers Only, and search for us. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast services. Go and have a look. And yeah, you can listen to us there every week. And let us know what podcast services you are on, by the way, because it's always cool. Because we had our Spotify wrapped thing for podcasts. We've grown like 300% on Spotify, which is very cool. Thank you for the support on Spotify. And not even a third of our audience are on Spotify, so that's awesome. So
It's a good sign when it's one that's not even our main.
Well, it's our biggest chunk, but we have that many people around the different areas that it's like 30% is Spotify, 16% is Apple Podcasts or whatever. We've got so many people on so many different platforms now that we're not just Spotify shills. We do have people on different podcast services, which is always cool. So thank you for your support, podcast listeners. We do appreciate you. You're kind of like, you're the lurkers. You're like the silent majority in weird ways. So we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us each and every week. But yeah, I guess that's it. I guess we're done. That's been our show. Thank you ever so much for listening / watching. We'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But until then, yeah, have an awesome week. And yeah, we'll see you for the Game Wars, I guess, next time.
Oh boy.
Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.